Hi everyone, welcome back to Have a Beer with Eric. I took a little break last week because if you guys follow me on Instagram, I had a wedding to attend to. I went Friday through Sunday, and I was in Arizona, and I didn't really have that much stuff to take already, so I had to go shopping a lot. I had to get stuff ready, so and on top of having other errands to do, so I didn't really have the time to make a review last week. So I just ended up postponing it instead of making some half-assed review. I just decided to wait until this week to make a better one. And with that, I bring a beer that was released today, and this is the Mikkellers. I am going back to Mikkeller, which I did 2 reviews ago. For review 36, I'm doing Mikkeller's Double Blush. So for breast cancer awareness, they decided to make an imperial version of their raspberry blush, which is a Berliner Weiss with raspberries and coffee. So this one says Imperial Berliner Style Weiss beer brewed with raspberries and coffee. And we have 16 ounces, 6.5% alcohol. I believe the raspberry blush is 4%. So they ramped up the alcohol level. I believe they did like twice as much raspberries and twice as much coffee. So pretty excited for this. I love raspberry blush. It's a great sessionable beer. You can drink it so easily, and it's so different from other sours because of the coffee. And this coffee goes so well with the raspberries. It adds a nice layer of like roastiness and like a kind of like cocoa nib kind of layer into the beer. So I'm hoping that this one comes out the same way. I just there's a lot of traffic today, so I just went really quickly to pick up some beers, some cans. I ended up buying 2 4-packs, and hoping that it's as good as raspberry blush. And then so we're about to see right now. And as you can see from the color, you'll know why they chose this one as the breast cancer awareness beer. This one's always the like a hue, pink hueish color. Although this one I can already tell it's a darker color, and I can smell the coffee from here, which is great. But yeah, this one's a bit darker than the regular raspberry blush, so we'll see how that just how that affects the taste, or if it affects the taste. So the carbonation is pretty crisp. It started off around like a finger and a half, and now it's going down slowly to a finger of head. Um, it's just very active carbonation up here, and also this glass is nucleated, so I might just be activating a lot of carbonation and adding it at the top. So we'll just top this off. Make it a good clean pint. There we go. And now we have about maybe a little less than a finger, about a half. It's in between half and 3/4 of a finger. But as you can see, it's really highly carbonated as a sour, so it just kind of like fizzles away, and it's probably gonna have a refreshing, crisp body. So that's what I'm expecting, and we're about to find out. Cheers. Ooh, by the way, I get some nice raspberry sourness in there too. It's like a hint of coffee, but mostly like raspberry sourness. So maybe we'll see how the flavor follows. Wow. So the coffee is more overpowering in this one. Usually with raspberry blush, it's a bit more on the sour side, and then with the layers of coffee coming in towards the end. But this one's pretty coffee forward. I think that By doubling the amount of coffee and raspberries, the coffee ended up taking over the beer. So now we get like the coffee ends up going forward with the a little hint of like raspberries and sourness at the end. Mm, it's very nice. And the coffee is not too strong either. It's not like a like straight in your face coffee. It's like mellow coffee, very small hint of like chocolate. So it's kind of like coffee, small bit of chocolate, and then at the end you get a little bit of tart raspberries. And it's not even that tart. It's very very light tartness. It's you just get a nice pleasant flavor from the raspberries. It's not sweet. It's very mildly tart. I think it balances out well with the coffee and the chocolate. That way, it makes the beer pretty light and crisp. Um, this was 6.5%. I think it feels just like a regular raspberry blush, like the 4%. Like body wise, the body is very light. I mean, it looks pretty dark, but it's actually a very light beer. And the mouthfeel is not as crisp as I thought it would be. It's more medium side, so the head was pretty fizzy, but that kind of tricked me. I thought it would be very like crisp and refreshing, kind of like a lager, but this one's more like medium body, and I think it goes well with the fact that it has coffee. Um, I think if it would be too crisp, that would kind of break through the coffee flavor, and I don't know how like maybe that would help the sourness, but it would just kind of ruin the coffee. And now with the way that this is now, I think it highlights the coffee more, and it just brings like a light tartness at the end, and I'm totally okay with that. I really like the way that the coffee is displayed in the beer, and I'm not even surprised because Mikkeller does some amazing coffee beers and just like beers, like dark beers in general. Just as you saw with Cocoa Shake a couple or 3 weeks ago, a couple of reviews ago. Um, I definitely think that they're a sleeper brewery. It's just a Best By date. Sometimes they have like messages at the bottom, but yeah, like they started to turn into a sleeper brewery because their hype kind of died down, but I still think they make some really nice beers every once in a while. I'm not a big fan of their IPAs, but I love their darker beers. Anything that pretty much any Mikkeller beer that has coffee in it will probably be amazing because they really know how to brew beer with coffee. They're just like geniuses with brewing beer with coffee, and this beer shows that it doesn't even need to be a dark beer to be able to put the coffee in it and still make it a great beer. And I know the raspberry blush has been a fan favorite for a while. Well, pretty much ever since it came out as fruit face, and then it became a year-long beer. Um, and so it's pretty nice that they decided to ramp up one of their core beers for a double for Breast Awareness Week. Yeah, that's a very solid Berliner Weiss. Um, it's just that coffee goes so well with the raspberries. Um, and then again, I don't really drink coffee, but I think the coffee flavor here is perfect. The beer strips away the bitterness of the coffee and just gives you like the roastiness that complements the raspberries and like that chocolate that pulls them all together. It's like a little bridge. So this is a really nice beer. I'm really happy that I bought a couple 4 packs because it's a very easy drinking beer. Excuse me. It was very enjoyable, and right now that it's hot, like I can drink this easily. Like a lot of people don't like drinking stouts when it's hot, and I mean today it was pretty hot, and I'm drinking this, which has coffee, but it's not a dark beer, so I'm still having a nice coffee beer without having to drink like a very thick, viscous beer. So now I have like a refreshing coffee beer. So I think they do an excellent job with both raspberry blush, and this version of the double blush. Um, I think for my rating for this, I would probably give it maybe a 4.25 or a 4.5. Not too sure yet. I still want to see how it warms up, but kind of leaning towards a 4.5 because Berliner Weisses are usually kind of a hit or miss with a lot of breweries. A lot of times it gets like a lot of lactic acid in it, and this beer definitely gets a lot of the notes of the flavors that they're trying to achieve. So you're getting exactly what they were trying to aim for, and so I think I might go for 4.5, and so beer related stuff for me. Yesterday I did a big bottle share with some friends, and we opened a Proper Dose and a Paisley Cave and a Crawler of Modern Times' Devil Teeth Ultra Coconut, and those were the highlights of the event, and they were all amazing. Paisley Cave is just so good. I went to go pick it up, and it was amazing. I think I need to revisit Proper Dose. I'm planning on bringing it to one of my reviews probably very soon because I think it might just be better fresh rather than cellar it. So I might bring it either next week or 2 or 3 weeks, sometime within like definitely no more than a month. So I'll bring my Proper Dose from Jorge H. Dales, and I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. So I think that's it for this week. Let me know what you think if you're having this beer this weekend. Let me know. This is a late review. I'm filming it on a Friday because I was busy this week as well. But better late than never. So yeah, let me know if you're having this beer. What do you think of it? What do you think of my review? Subscribe. Follow my Instagram. Have a beer with Erik, where I post more of what's going on with my life and like on the beer side, and yeah, I mean, just give me your feedback. I really appreciate it. Cheers, guys.